What's good, YouTube? It is your boy Thesis, aka Thesis himself, from Vaping with Thesis. That's right, God bless it. Now, look, today we have got the Mojo by Vape Mojo. Huge shout out to those guys for sending these bad boys out, as well as a huge shout out to them for sponsoring the Patreon page. I will be doing a giant giveaway on December, I think it's the 6th or the 7th, the first Thursday in December. Each and every one of the patrons deserve a giant thank you. Thank you guys so much. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do this as a job. With that being said, if and we hit that 50 Patreon mark by December, I want to do a giant giveaway, the Hammer of God, the Titan by Steam Crave, Limitless Modco, Mech Mod Kit, so on and so forth. I want to do something big like that. Don't forget to hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, and of course the main vein, patreon.com/ThesisHimself. Okay, smell the truckers. With all that aside, fuck the small talk. Let's go and get up close and personal with the Mojo by Vape Mojo. Okay, so let's cut the bullshit. This is not an advertisement for Mojo. You could apply a lot of what I'm about to say to your personal favorite disposable vape, but mine just so happens to be Mojo. Every once in a while, a product comes out that takes me by surprise. That's not to say it's always a good thing. Take the Anakin Coolfire 2, for example. Yeah, it surprised me, as in it's surprising that Anakin didn't see the irony of a grenade-shaped e-cig. Fucking idiots. But then there were good surprises, like the durability of Vapor Wrestle's Revenger X mod over the past year. It's basically the Jason Statham of the vape world. It's unkillable. Now, as for the Mojo system, it sits neatly into the second category, but it wasn't always like that. When I first started vaping back in 2010, the first device I ever picked up was a Disposable, and at that time, the battery life sucked, the flavor was terrible, and there was zero throat hit. If I had a disposable device from 2018 back in 2010, I would have quit smoking 2 years sooner. So, the truth is, I've been putting off this video, not because I didn't want to do it, but because I had a hell of a time coming up with things to say about a device as simple as this. I mean, really, what is there to say? The battery is non-rechargeable, the reservoir has 1.2 mils of 5% nic salts, and though the throat hit is pretty subtle, it's definitely satisfying. But that's when it hit me. I don't have to do the talking for this device because it speaks for itself. And that's why I fell in love with the Mojo back in August. There's zero effort needed to use this setup. Over the years, I've talked to countless smokers on why they haven't switched into vaping, and time again I get the same response. I've tried once, but it's too complicated. Disposables like the Mojo directly address that issue head on. It removes the guesswork. You don't have to think about filling your tank, where to buy your coils, or recharging your battery. Smokers no longer have an excuse. It's easier to use a Mojo than it is to light up a cigarette. Now, if I sat here and told you that Mojo disposables are the best disposables on the market, I'd be lying to you. Not because I don't believe that statement isn't true, but because I've only used a handful of different brands. And while I can think of a few disposable setups that I like the Stig or the Lip, just to name a few, Mojo's Menthol was the reason I fell in love with the idea of disposables to begin with. Now, with that being said, let's go and break down the flavors on the up-close shot. Okay, smell the truckers, welcome to Up Close and Personal with your boy Thesis. Now real quick, today we've got the Mojo Disposable e-cig. Now real quick, everything you've heard me say, or most of what you heard me say, is pretty applicable to almost any disposable e-cig nowadays. Now, with that being said, Mojo is by far and away my personal favorite. Biggest reason being, it's one of two things: throat hit and flavor. Those two things combined give me what I feel like is probably the best and most satisfactory vape I've ever had from a disposable device. Now, that's not to say that this is comparative to something like this or something like this. It's just not. They're two completely separate things. This here is what I would consider to be the best smoking alternative, aside from actually going full-fledged into vaping headfirst into a sub-ohm tank or into an MTL or into a refillable pod system, etc. This to me is probably the best option for someone who's either an occasional smoker or someone who's, say, wanting to transition without there being any headaches. And that's particularly what this is. This is exactly how you get it. They're roughly $7 a piece. With that being said, if you use the coupon code THESIS, you will get 10% off your order, and you can use that as many times as you'd like. You receive it in this exact box, one of the most satisfying sounds in the world. Take a listen. Good God, I love that shit. You open her up. A lot of safety shit going on with this box. One, it's still not open. Second seal, still not open. Third seal, still not open. Fourth seal, still not usable. Fifth seal, now you can use it. Now, I want to give you guys my first initial impressions. When I first found Mojo, I was at ECC Ontario with my boys Ray, Grimdino, and my boy Josh. We're all sitting there. Basically, everyone's passing out these disposable pod systems, whether it be the Stig, the Lip, the Mojo, so on and so forth. This one caught my eye, biggest reason being is because of the menthol. The other menthols were solid, the other menthols were good. However, this one definitely stood out to me. This one more closely resembles my actual daily vape. As soon as I got it back, I started using it on a regular basis. I would have it in live streams, I would have it in videos, I would be walking around using it in the shop, and that's basically where it lived, in my pocket, just kind of roaming around with me. The flavors that Mojo offers for me have been the best and most high quality flavors that I've used. So Cool Melon, for example, this one is exactly what you would expect. Cool Melon. Now this one for me tastes a little bit like cucumber melon. It's not my favorite, though it is a decent vape. I will say a few people that I've given one of these to, they kind of liken it to chapstick. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of understand where they're coming from. It's just not my favorite flavor in general. Now as you guys can see, I've got 3 of these sitting right here. The menthol is obviously going to be my number 1. My number 2 is going to be the lemon. The lemon, by far and away, this lemon dessert is fucking intense. Now this does say November 5th. I wanted to make sure that I dated these. This one lasted up until, what was it? I think it was the 16th with intermittent use that this one lasted me up to. Now the lemon dessert for me is one of the best flavors I've tried, period. Now when I say that, I don't mean the best disposable flavor. I mean one of the best lemon dessert flavors I've tried in all of vaping. It's creamy, it's smooth, there's like this weird tart factor that comes along with it. There's no artificial hints that I get. It tastes like a natural lemon flavor. Now the throat hit on the lemon is not quite at the forefront, say something like the menthol. The menthol probably has one of the stronger throat hits, not quite as strong as the tobacco, but we'll get there in a second. The lemon is definitely my second favorite of the bunch thus far. Now the tobacco, this one holds a special place in my heart for the simple fact that this one tastes like a legitimate tobacco. It's not like an artificial tobacco. Let me go ahead and take a puff. Let's see. Good God, the throat hit is somewhere between a robust and a heavy throat hit. I'll definitely say that this tobacco is something where a smoker is going to feel comfortable using it. Flavor, throat hit, and overall function, the tobacco is probably going to be, oh man, this is, I'm going to say this one is at a solid second with the lemon. I think the tobacco is going to be more important, especially with helping people quit smoking. However, in terms of flavor, they're both fucking tied. Now, I haven't tried any of the other flavors yet, though I've heard amazing things about the iced pineapple or pineapple ice. That one I'm looking the most forward to. With that being said, my educators, let's go and get back to regular view, son. Welcome back to Regular View, son. Now my final summation is this. Vape Mojo has done the impossible. They've given out a platform that enables a smoker to go from smoking to vaping with zero forethought. Now, if you think about how powerful that is, that's amazing. There's no refilling, there's no recharging, and when you're done, you can recycle it. Those 3 things right there were hit. If you can hit the nail on the head on those, you've got yourself a winning system, and that's exactly what this is. Now, I'm not saying this is the only option out there. It's not. There's a lot of disposable systems out there. The thing is for me is that flavor and throat hit, the combination is key. My favorite throat hit probably is by the lip system, L-I-I-P. The problem with the lip systems is that the flavor fell super flat. That's a fucking bitch to say. Flavor fell super flat. Flavor fell super flat. I got that shit. The flavor fell, oh god damn it. The flavor fell super flat on the lip systems. The V-God one, there's a few of them out there that I tried and they didn't make an impression on me. The flavor wasn't there, or there wasn't enough throat hit, or too much throat hit. These hit the money in terms of an all-around perfect disposable. Now in terms of my favorite flavors, it goes like this: menthol, pineapple ice, tobacco, lemon, and then cool melon. That's the only ones I tried. I haven't tried the strawberry one yet, though I do want to. Now with durability, of course, this is polycarbonate. It's just plastic. You can pull this bottom portion out. It's not something where you're gonna have to worry about. You're not gonna drop this and break it. It just works non-stop. It's a workhorse. Okay, smother truckers. Now with that being said, on Thesis' patented finger of comparability scale, solid 8.5. No question, no above, no beyond that, no below that. It's perfect. 8.5 is exactly where it needs to be. Only reason why it's not any higher is because I don't think a disposable pod system can be any higher. Flavor factor is amazing. Throat hit is good. It's solid. It's nice. It has a broad spectrum. The biggest issue is, of course, going to be battery life, and it varies per person. Of course, the other biggest issue is going to be the liquid size, the capacity. 1.2 milliliters is exactly where it needs to be for the battery the way it is. They're going for someone who's quitting smoking, or someone who's like an occasional smoker, say when they drink, when they're at the casino, etc. This is going to be replacing those. I know that's going to happen. This is going to be the replacement. When they say the future of smoking, that's exactly what they mean, and that's exactly what they do. Bitch, it's okay, smother truckers. Now with that being said, don't forget to hit that notification bell. Hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. I am live every week, Thursdays and Saturdays on the YouTube channel, as well as on Friday and Sunday I do the video drops. And of course, for 10% off, don't forget to use Thesis on Vape Mojo's website. With that being said, my educators, I want to tell you that I appreciate y'all for vaping with Thesis. It is your boy Thesis. I'm out.